Okay, right here I have actually sage and oregano in the same pot. Oh, look, the oregano's going to flower. I love it when these things go to flower because they bring in the pollinators. And this pot right here, I give it a little love, not a lot, because once again, sage is one of those things that I didn't understand would grow so large, like a shrub actually, a nice size shrub. It just kept spreading. And oregano, anybody who's growing that knows that, well, it's a weed, pretty much. It's a delicious weed, but it spread. It actually went under the ground and spread from one bed under the ground and came up in another bed in the old section. So I'm looking here. I'm going to throw some water on, and look at this. So what's that? Something has decided that this is delicious. Wow, is that a bird? I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like a bug. Still learning, so we'll figure it out. Here is another 4x8 raised bed, actually a galvanized bed. And above that, I have some shade cloth. So I got the shade cloth because it got up into the 90s with a heat index up around 100, 102, 103. And I noticed last year that when it got that hot, my plants actually stopped producing. They would dry out, even though I would water, and the flowers just dropped. So this seemed to have helped a lot. This is this plant right here is a black creme tomato plant. Hey, Maxie. Okay, Max, you don't have to show that to everybody, Max. So this is a black creme tomato plant, and this I couldn't get to produce in the past, but now I actually am getting lots of tomatoes. Well, I won't say lots, lots for me. And these are pretty big tomatoes also. Let's see. As a matter of fact, there was one right there I could show you. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. And look at those. Look at those. That's nice. Now, right next to this, folks that are familiar with the shape will recognize that this is a Roma tomato plant. Let's see. Can I get that leaf? There it is. And we got some that are starting to ripen in here. Check it out. Where are they? There you go. There you go. All right. And this thing is really producing well. There we go. Tomatoes all over the place there. All right. And under the shade cloth, I have some kale. This actually started growing, of course, when it was cooler, and now it has grown out. So red Russian kale. And we have some dwarf blue kale over here. It's growing really well. And I like to stick basil in places. So that's a basil plant. I think so. I think that's a Thai basil. The other one was a lemon basil. Now, another thing that I struggled with were like squash, cantaloupe, the cucurbits. I think that's the right way to say it. Cucurbits. That's how you spell it. So I think I'm going phonetically. You know, I'm from the old school. So this is a cantaloupe plant here in a 5-gallon bucket. And let me show you some cantaloupes growing on it. There you go. Look at that. Let's see if we can get back here. There we go. Look at that. There's one. There's another right there. There's another right there. Yeah. Let's see. There were 4 or 5. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. And there were actually 2 here. Let's see. Oh, there's another right there. You see this? Am I holding this camera right? Let's see. Practice makes perfect, y'all. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Is that it? Make sure I follow my hand. My hand is blocking. And then there's another way down on the ground there. Let's see. There they go. There you go. Yeah. So I've got 5 cantaloupe on that plant. And then in this crate here, I have some soil, and another time I'll describe all the soils and different things. So butternut squash growing here. And there's a nice large one there in the back. That's growing out of the crate. Oh, there's another one that's growing out of the crate right there. Where's it at? Come on, there's the camera. There you go. You pretty thing, you. And over here, this is another butternut squash plant. I just kind of threw them everywhere because I was failing, so I wanted to see where they would grow. And it seems that this year, the bigger thing than what I was doing is, oops, now I see what I'm doing. There it is. That's the butternut squash. The bigger thing is that I wasn't properly amending the soil and watering enough. Then I decided, hey, I've watched folks grow in bags and use all kinds of, free things to grow in. So why don't I try the same thing? So look at this right here. You know what that is? That is a sugar baby watermelon. And I have another one right here. And I would have been very happy just to get one. And to get 1 or 2 cantaloupe. But the fact that I have 5 cantaloupe and have 2 watermelon makes me very happy. And this is actually in the bag. This is the bag of soil that I purchased. I amended it. It's Miracle Grow Organic Choice. I'll use any soil that looks decent to me. Organic I like more so, but I won't limit myself because a lot of folks put out good products, and I don't have the feeling of like a company being evil or, I'm not going to get into the ethics of those things. But let's just say I use the products that will help me, and I try to be as clean and organic as possible. And generally I use organic fertilizers. I use, bone meal and blood meal, those type of amendments. That's generally what I put in the soil, so, but I will use like synthetic fertilizers if things look like they're suffering. Now these are just cucumber plants, a couple of them that I just kind of tossed in to these boxes here because I didn't know what to do with them. Then when I got ready to pull them out, I looked and I actually had cucumbers growing. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna leave them in, even finally get a couple. I've gotten a few already off of here. This plant, I'm not taking the best care of it, but hey, the way I look at it, it's a freebie. Okay, this is a poblano pepper that a neighbor gave me. So I'm growing this in this small pot here. It's 3 gallons, but I have it in the dirt so the roots can extend down, and I am getting some peppers off it. We'll see how large those get. There we go. Yep. Some peppers. Yeah, throughout. It's pretty nice. Alright. I didn't know if I was going to get anything, but there you go. Some peppers. Okay. Then I have flowers. So, of course, since I'm learning about this stuff, I don't always place them optimally. But right here, check this out. It's a hollyhock. Check that sucker out. They say it grows to 7 feet. I am 5'11", and this plant is taller than me, so I'm going to say that they are by a good deal. I'm going to say that it's accurate. Look, I just like them, and the pollinators love them. Look at that. You see something pretty? Oops. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? And look at that. Butterfly weed. And I think that's a butterfly bush. This is lupine, if that's how you say it. What's this right here? Can I come off? Okay. I'm going to be doing some cleaning. And this is a bean plant. Another bean plant. Like I said, you're going to see stuff just spread all out. Now here, this I'm very happy about. This is my little potato bed here. So this has, let me see, 2 parts. Let me see. First section, what is that? About 8 inches. And the second one is 6 inches. So it's about, 14 inches. It's a little bit in the ground and starting to die off now. This has gone in since March. So soon I'm going to be digging down there, see what kind of treasure I get. And there is a tree collard in a pot. So a lot of the stuff that's in pots, they're actually going to go in the ground as the summer stuff fades. The other thing I want to show are foxgloves. So these are foxgloves right there. Now I am going to have to move those and give them more space, but it's interesting. They said they grow like, just like this, like they have the, I don't know if you call them rosettes. I don't know if that's the right name. Anyway, they have the leaves that fan out, and they're getting much larger than I knew they would, so I'm going to have to spread those out. But they look like they're doing pretty well. Then Allison, that's how I say it, and that's how I'm going to keep saying it. The little bees and pollinators love this stuff right here. This is one of my favorite plants that's growing up next to it or through it. This is an asparagus bean plant, and I love this. So these are those like long beans. These things, I've grown them up to 18 inches, 20 inches long, and I love them because they're one of the things that grow relatively easy for me. Okay, this was an early girl tomato plant. Not a whole lot of production. Got a little cracking going on here, but that's all right. I'm gonna pull those off. This was another Roma tomato plant. What I noticed is that these plants that are in these tubs, because I just haven't watered them as well, they aren't doing as well. But they have produced something. Now, these are those echinaceas that just popped up I told you about. I didn't plant these in this pot, by the way. These are just seeds that happen to have been in this dirt that I moved from that area, and these popped up, so this is what I'm going to use to replace that echinacea. This is a comfrey plant. I use this. I actually put it in water, take off the leaves because it's great fertilizer. Let's see, I've seen that. That's on YouTube somewhere that I saw that also. I can't remember who it was. There are a number of people that talk about it. I feel like it was something the Great. And if I remember, I'm going to put the right name in, but it was something the Great. And here is, oh, this is a nice one right here. See this? This bag, my neighbor made these bags. He made a bunch of them. So this is one that I think was like 7 gallon. And I had some sweet potato slips. I wasn't going to try them, but I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot since I got this. And the vine seems to be growing well. I've been watering it. Now, here's another little simple thing I did. So I took some soil and I just took the garden soil, put it on top of the ground.